First of all, I just want to start by saying I'm going to answer no questions about the movie. Go ahead.
Okay, let's talk about the TV show then.
Sure, let's talk about the TV show.
You were a big fan of that, weren't you?
Yes, I loved it growing up. It was one of those shows that I could watch with my parents, and I didn't understand all aspects of it, but my parents did. And, you know, when you're a kid, you always laugh at what your parents are laughing at. So I could understand enough of it that I enjoyed it. But later on, I understood, you know, much more. Well, I'm trying to not necessarily do an impersonation of the original, because Don Adams was so iconic and was so great in his rendition of Maxwell Smart that I want to honor it, I want to do it justice, but I'm trying not to do an impersonation. My take on the character is similar to his in the sense that he is not, in my mind, a bumbling spy. He is counterintuitive, perhaps. He is a little bit quirky. He's very straight-laced and incredibly serious about doing a good job. And it always seems to work out for him. Have you read the paper about North Korea recently? Have you? You a little scared?
Yes.
Is it reminiscent of anything?
You're right.
You're peeing your pants right now, aren't you? See, I think, honestly, I think in terms of the context, I think we're at a more similar time to the Cold War than we allow ourselves to believe. And that's what was so great about the original, is that it did, in a light way, comment on Cold War politics and the ins and outs of what was going on internationally. And this, I think, is relevant in the same way. Not to forget that it's a comedy, and we're not taking ourselves too seriously, and the movie isn't designed to make an important statement on international affairs. But I think it's relevant in this day and age, definitely. And the proliferation of nuclear material in third world countries, it's changing. It's changing sort of the landscape of international politics, and I think that sort of resonates. A lot of unbridled, passionate sex. And I know this is international, so our international audiences can appreciate that in a much more mature way, I think, than American audiences can. And I'm going to be, I think I have 10 or 12 scenes in which I am fully nude. And this was my choice. I had it written into my contract that I do appear nude. They didn't want me to, but I specified that I appear nude in as much of the movie as possible. 99, and I have sort of an antagonistic relationship at first, because in this version of the story, I am an analyst, and she is already a field agent, and we meet, and so there's sort of a status deficiency there. I am clearly on a lower rung of the ladder than she is, so I am always trying to keep up. I'm trying to prove myself in the field, and she doesn't quite believe that I'm capable of being a field agent. So I'm constantly trying to prove myself to her and to the chief and to the other agents. A lot of action scenes. It's what I always knew I'd do. I always knew that at some point I would become an action star in the vein of a Schwarzenegger or a Jean-Claude Van Damme, who is still apparently very popular in pockets of Belgium. I mean, no offense, because frankly, this could be the last movie I ever do, and this will be the last you see of me. So, no, it's fun. What's really great about it is that, you know, we're hanging off of, you know, SUVs and their huge fight sequences and explosions, and I never in a million years thought I'd be in a movie where I was doing that sort of thing. So it's really fun, and that coupled with the humor, it's interesting because when I first got involved, I envisioned the movie as an action comedy as opposed to a spoof. I don't think it's a very it's not a spoof on spy films. I feel like it's a spy film that is also comedic. I'm really not allowed to divulge the fact that there's the shoe phone and the cone of silence. And there are, well, much like James Bond has his gadgets, Maxwell Smart has his sort of version of that. He has his arsenal of high and low tech gadgetry to get him through the day. It's a great group of people, and everybody's funny and fun, and I think we're several weeks into it at this point, and we're just having a good time. And I think that'll register when you see it, because every day we laugh so hard that we're generally crying by the end of the day. There's something that will be so funny or so just amusing. Something happens every day that tickles all of us. So I mean, working with Alan, Academy Award winner now, fantastic actor, very lucky to have him in the movie playing the chief. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, that's the other thing. What do you call him? Do you call him Dwayne and get punched in the face? Do you call him Rock? Do you call him The Rock? Or do you just try to keep your eyes averted and not get killed by him? He turned out to be a really funny, warm, charming person. And of course, Anne Hathaway, beautiful, smart, funny. It's this very well-rounded cast of people, and everybody likes to improvise and play around. So we're having fun, and I think it's going to register when you see the movie.